Hi, we're going to go ahead and go over the directions for completing Apply, revising your persuasive essay draft. And so when you click on that, there it goes. All right, so when you click on that, you're going to see the assignment that says organize your paragraphs from checkpoints 2 and 3 to create your rough draft. You should have an introduction, 2 to 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. After you have set up your rough draft, evaluate your essay using the checklist found under number 5, Self-Review Checklist. Then revise your essay as needed using your findings from the checklist. So if you know how to use split screen, that would come really in handy here and might make your life a little bit easier. I actually do not know how to use that, so I'll just be switching back and forth. So once you have completed the self-review checklist and used it to revise, improve your essay, you want to submit your revised essay draft to me. So to see an example of an essay that was revised using the self-review checklist, you'll be able to actually click here, and it will pull up the essay that I'm actually going to go over for you right now during this video. So you will have that option available to you when you move on to number 6. Okay, but once you are in here, you want to go ahead and click on Persuasive Essay Rough Draft. And when you pull that up, it's basically a blank document. It's just a template for where you will put your essays. Okay, so over the past couple of weeks, you have been working on your persuasive essay, and you need to go ahead and get those components so that you can put them in this document. And let me go ahead and pull up the template. All right. So once you have that document pulled up, you'll see that the first thing that you need to do is go ahead and head your paper. So you want to put your name, you want to put today's date, and you want to put, well, actually, I already put it in there for you. So English 7 is in there, and my name is in there. So you're going to have name, date, English 7, and teacher's name. The next thing that you want to do is go ahead and put the title of your essay. If you don't have a title, just think about what the main idea of your essay is and go ahead and come up with a title. So for this example, the title is Banning Cell Phones in Schools. All right, so the next thing that we want to do is take a look at our checklist. And well, actually, that's not the next thing we want to do. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and copy and paste our essay from the previous weeks and place it in this document. And there's my essay right there. And then the next thing we want to do is take a look at the checklist and see what we need to highlight, see what needs to be done. So it says in the introduction paragraph, highlight your hook in purple. Okay, so I'm going to locate my hook, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight it in purple. Okay, and the hook, my hook is buzz, buzz. There is a sound often heard throughout the school day as students receive text messages and social media notifications on their cell phones. So that's my hook to draw my reader in and get their attention. And it says highlight your bridge and background in pink. Okay, so the bridge of my essay says more and more teachers' classes are being interrupted by students on their phones instead of paying attention to class or talking to other members of their group. Okay, so this is my bridge because it transitions the reader from my hook into my essay and provides them with some background as to what I'm going to be discussing. Okay. And so the next thing says highlight the central idea of your thesis in blue. So your thesis should have a central idea. Your essay should have a central idea. This is the thesis statement that you had to come up with, and we want to highlight it in blue. All right, so the central idea of my essay is that cell phones should not be permitted in schools because, and I'm sure that we have to highlight our reasons in a different color. So let's take a look at that. Yes, it says highlight your points. So we want to highlight the first point in our thesis in green, and we want to highlight the second point of our thesis in orange. So let me go ahead and highlight my points. Okay, so let me read that thesis one more time, and you'll see my highlighted points in there. So my thesis is cell phones should not be permitted in schools because they distract students from learning and keep students isolated from face-to-face communication. So there's my highlighted thesis statement in blue, my first point highlighted in green, and my second point highlighted in orange. So let's see what we have to do next. So now we're moving on to our first body paragraph. And it says in the first body paragraph, highlight point 1 in green, highlight your proof in yellow, and highlight your explanation in red. Okay, so as we go back, let's go ahead and take care of that. Okay. And our point is that cell phones are a distraction to student learning. And it says too often students are consumed by social media and text messages instead of focusing on their lesson and discussion. Okay, and then this distraction causes students to miss out on what is being taught or done in class. When this happens, students become confused or fall behind in their assignments. This not only impacts students' understanding of the material, but it may also impact their grades. All right, so if you take a look at that paragraph, you'll see that we have highlighted our first point in green, our proof in yellow, and our explanation of the proof that we just gave in red. So for our second body paragraph, it says highlight our second point in orange, our proof in yellow, and our explanation in red. So let's go ahead and go back. And then we want to take care of that. I only have one paragraph in mine because it's just the example, but you just want to go ahead and follow through with the directions and get that taken care of. If you only have 2 paragraphs, then that is fine. If you have 3 paragraphs, then what you want to do is, and I'm trying to get back, I've actually touched something on my computer and it got rid of my top tab. Here we go. So in the second body paragraph, you would highlight the point 2 in orange, the proof in yellow, the explanation in red. If you have a third body paragraph, and a lot of people do, then you want to highlight point 3 in a different color. You can choose any color that you'd like, and then go ahead and highlight your proof in yellow, and then highlight your explanation in red, and then move on to the conclusion, where you'll go ahead and then follow the next steps and directions. Okay, and once you're finished at that point, now that you've made these highlights, you're going to go ahead and see what your essay might be missing. If you know that you were unable to highlight certain items, then you want to go ahead and add those items in there. and make the corrections that you need to make and make the improvements as you're reading through it that you see that the essay needs. Once you have finished doing that, then you want to look at the checklist and just read what's on the left side of the checklist, because this is what I'm going to be looking for as I take a look at your essay. All right, so when you hand your essay in this week, it will have all the revision colors on it. It should have any information that you add on it. It's not a final draft. It's simply you're revising your draft. So I am expecting it to have all the highlights and everything on it. And then you will submit it once you are finished with revising it. Okay? If you have any questions, you want to go ahead and put them in the parking lot, and I'll respond to you as soon as possible. You can always send them to my email or come to our Google Meet, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you had. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye.